As I mentioned in the class review, the 2010s was not the best year for in terms of regular Christmas classics. Like we didn't have as many elves or the Polar Expresses or classics that people still watch this very day that came out in the last 10 years. But there were really good Christmas movies, just not the ones that are for the entire family. Let's just put it that way. And The Night Before definitely is one of those examples of a movie that is so good that it's still not good enough for like little kids to watch, but you can still find a lot to admire about the movie in general, especially with the cast that it has. So in the night before, 14 years prior, Ethan, played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt's parents passed away on Christmas Eve, and his two best friends, Isaac and Chris, played by Seth Rogen and Anthony Mackie, have been with him in support of this night by having a tradition of going out on Christmas Eve. However, because Isaac is going to be a father and Chris has become famous, all three decide to have one last Christmas Eve out in New York City. And as I mentioned, 4 years ago, there was this attempt to make a new R-rated holiday classic with a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas, which we're going to get to later on in the month, but it was a very funny holiday movie. It didn't quite hit with most audiences, so it's not hard to assume the same will happen with what happened with this movie in general, but like a very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas, this is a really extremely hilarious, over-the-top, raunchy Christmas movie. There's just so much joy to come out of this movie, man. Like I said, the cast, fantastic. You can never go wrong with Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who really is one of those entertainers out there. He's up there with Conan O'Brien and Neil Patrick Harris. When anything he's attached to, you're automatically there because you know you're going to get something of value out of this. But out of this guy. And Seth Rogen, what can you say about him? Anthony Mackie has since become one of a top star in his own right. The three of them just work off each other so well. They are what helped this movie carry its way through. And not only that, you got a great supporting cast around this movie. Michael Shannon, Mindy Kaling, Lizzie Kaplan, Jillian Bell, Lorraine Toussaint, Jason Mantzoukas, Jason Jones, Ilana Glazer, Tracy Morgan. Each of them have this great moment in their movie to shine. And even Miley Cyrus has a really good cameo in here where, they basically they make fun of the Wrecking Ball song, but they don't really make fun of it per se, but they make it seem like it's much more than just a song that people made fun of because of just how ridiculous Miley Cyrus looked in there. They actually make that song much more than you would ever expect if you watch this movie. And you can never go wrong with this director, Jonathan Levine, who really was one of the top comedic directors working out there. And this is a guy that was able to make a funny movie out of the most unfunny thing possible, Cancer, with 50/50, and was able to make a good teenage zombie comedy with Warm Bodies. So, yeah, here's another winner from him per se. What I appreciate most about this movie is that it doesn't take itself too seriously at all. It can go over the top on so many levels, paying homage to different Christmas elements in movies such as Home Alone. I mean, there's even an homage to Home Alone 2 when you play All Alone on Christmas. I mean, how can you go wrong with that? There's references to Die Hard, there's Big, so many more. And what's great is that they don't feel forced in, but they feel very much genuine. At the same time, within the over-the-top moments, they do manage to find some great emotional outputs for heavier moments, and that's more than enough to make this a very enjoyable movie. This is a film that is so well done. There's a few scenes in here that are very much underwhelming, but overall, this is a very enjoyable, very fun, very over-the-top R-rated holiday comedy that is something that we definitely needed to get the abysmal taste of a bad Christmas movie that came out around that time, Love the Coopers, which that movie was just bad movie. If you're looking for a good Christmas movie that's different and not the same sappy, wappy bullshit, The Night Before is definitely that movie to see, and it's one you should definitely check out.